Hi, it's Thad at Willoway Nurseries. Here today, it's the last day of March, the 31st. Tomorrow's April Fool's Day, or April 1st. So the weather's kind of trying to mess with us a little bit, so this is the time of year we really want to talk about what we have to do with plants and protection of plants if you receive them. We have perennials and other plants that are starting to come on because the weather was pretty good. But as you can see behind me in this house, we still have the plastic on. We have vents on the sides that we open. We try to hold things back a little bit, but we also have to protect them. So if you do have plants that are at an advanced stage where they've come out a little bit, you do have to be careful about protecting them. Like tonight, they're talking 30 degrees. It's going to be overcast. It should stay around that. But if it was clear tonight and 32, I'd expect it to get colder than 32. So just kind of a thing with weather and monitoring what's going on. This particular plant I'm holding is Iberis. Really nice selection, early season bloomer. As you can see, beautiful white flowers on it. And they're kind of semi-evergreen, so they do stay this nice green foliage through the year. We don't trim this time of year because of the flowers. It would get trimmed later on, but we have lots of nice plants. These are rooted pretty well, and it also colonizes real well, so you can see these are really nice, sturdy, strong plants. It's that Willoway again. We moved over to a long road, talk a little bit about redbuds. Next to me, Cirrus canadensis. We've got a lot of nice, the buds are starting to show a little pink to them. So this is a great time. There's a real early spring bloomer. And then after it blooms, then you start to get the leaves to come out and emerge. So this is a great time to get them if you get a little color in early. And then also, this is a great tree, medium-sized tree in the landscape. We do single stem, which is just one trunk, or we do multi-stem, which have 2 or 3, 4 trunks. So there's lots of different variations you can get out there, and you can train this to be kind of broadly oval, or you can actually train it out to be a lot wider, or even trim it up and make it narrower. So a lot of it how you trim it after it gets out in the landscape. But I love the real large heart-shaped leaves in it. Gives a nice kind of a landscape backdrop to other plants that flower a little later in the year. Some of the other things, we're coming up on Arbor Day here in April as we go, so that's the 25th. So it's a great time to plant trees and think about planting trees and maybe even run some promotions with it. So keep that in mind as you're building out loads and looking at what you need in the landscape or in the garden centers. I wanted to talk a little bit about growing degree days. Here at Avon, we're at 107 growing degree days. We'll build a little bit this week, but the beginning of this week's pretty cool. Tonight they're talking 32 for a low. Some of the things that you want to look for is Norway maple. Will be the first bloom at about 116 growing degree days. We just had Cornelian cherry dogwood at 98 blooming, so we're just past that. We'll be in full bloom now. And then we're coming up on Calorie pears at 133. That one is coming into first bloom on that. So some of the indicator plants and some of the pests that you should be looking for right now is large case bearer at 133 degree days. Then you have ambrosia beetle or black stem beetle. That one you're seeing the first emergence of adults. So they'll be out like drilling into the trees. So you want to watch for that. That comes at 136 degree days. And then we have at 144, I bring it up as European pine sawfly. The larvae emerge. So they can be pretty devastating to some like Mugo pines, some of the Austrian pines, some of the plants like that. They'll feed and take all the needles right off the tree and strip it. And they feed very fast. So that's something to watch for. I want to just circle back a little bit about a focal on the ambrosia beetle or black stem beetle. That one you really want to watch for. We do a lot of trapping here to catch them early with the emergence. And they kind of come out in waves when the temperature gets warm enough, then they hatch out. So it's not kind of a one and done for us. We really watch, but they will get on 200 different species of trees, oaks, maples. You look at like fruit trees they go to. There's a pretty long list of trees that they'll go to, so you really want to watch for that one. Which one of the ways you can tell if you got it is on the trunks. You'll get this like emergence, like a sawdust tube almost that comes out. It looks like toothpicks sticking out of the side of the tree, and that's the frass that they kick out as they burrow in. So it's a very small black beetle. Hi, it's Thad. I'm here in our cooler. We're getting ready, but we brought plants in. As you can see, these PGMs are in tight bud. We're trying to stage the crop a little bit, so we have two different crops. This will be the later ones. We'll ship a little later when the buds are still tight. The natural ones that we have out at Huron, those will be shipping out first, so they have the color early, that clear purple flower. We do this with forsythia and some other Karen azaleas. So some crops we split like that so we can get you more in bloom time, so that not everything's bloomed out at the same time.